Hey YouTube, Shukun Shinobi here with a review of the Figma Kamen Rider Strike from Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. The fifth in the series, despite being the sixth person to show up, I do believe he is the fifth. Camo got pushed back to be Thrust's partner in the People That Don't Matter category. So, the box is pretty much the same as all the others. The building in the background, purple for Strike's color. All that fun stuff. The really awesome picture of Strike right here. These look gorgeous back to back. In fact, if you're going to put them on like a single shelf, don't throw away the boxes. Don't box up the boxes. Just set the boxes up along the back of the shelf and then set up all the figures in front of it. Absolutely gorgeous display, and I really hope to do that shortly. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my displays. Now on the back here, we got all different poses of him. But obviously this is the most iconic Ouja and Strike pose right there, so I'm probably going to just go with that because it's awesome. So we'll leave that back here and take a look at the Strike. Okay, so here is Strike, and I have to say he's my favorite Ryuki and Dragon Knight Rider. In terms of design, Wrath is pretty close because I really like Phoenixes. But I don't know why, it's just I like the color purple, and not the movie, but the color itself. My zodiac sign's a snake, and I really dig both these characters. Despite being total pricks, they were actually really, really dynamic characters in both stories. So Advent deck down here. I am happy to say that it is dead center in the deck. Belt is pretty much what we have been. They're all pretty much the same thing in terms of design. He's got his shoulder pads right here. Articulation isn't hindered besides the fact that his chest armor jettisons upward. So thankfully it is made out of a softer rubber. So I can just kind of sail right along there. So it doesn't really hinder articulation too much. It gets in the way, but it doesn't. I wouldn't say it particularly hinders it. Head is on the typical ball joint that we've come to know and love. And then these joints right here are just absolutely phenomenal knee joints. I love these so much. And then the rubber connecting the thigh and covering the thigh joint, while not hindering it at all, really. Love these figures. That's why I'm still getting them despite the whole Ryuki Figuart thing. There's absolutely fantastic figures. They fall apart quite a bit, but what are you going to do? Not much, really. So, that is pretty much all for him. You can check out all the details as I continuously talk about the toy. So now we'll take a look at his accessories. As always, he comes with his final vent card. There's no way I'm going to get the camera to focus on something this tiny. But there it is, in all of its tiny miniature glory. I'm putting it back in the box right now so I don't lose it. Then he obviously comes with the Vena visor, or the Veno visor. I'm just going to go with Vena visor because it comes from Venom. So, very, very, very much looking like Kamen Rider Jafar. But we won't get into that too much. Really, really nice. Everything's detailed. The eyes are painted. Let me see if I can focus on that. It didn't focus perfectly, but you can see everything pretty clear now. Very, 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 very nice. And then, of course, he comes with his sword vent. I don't really like his sword vent. I know it's supposed to be like the rattler of the snake. So, that is all for his accessories. He doesn't come with much, but he's still my favorite figure. I'll get to that later. So, let's get him in a pretty neato pose. And by neato pose, I mean his stereotypical pose. So we're going to give him the relaxed, shaky hand, and then the sword vent holding hand. So we'll just go ahead and plug that right in. Like I said, it fits it really good, so I'm pretty sure that's what its purpose is. Take off those. Plug in the sword vent. I love how easy it is to switch these hands. The joints are weaker than Figuart hands, but it's just so easy to switch things around that that I really like it. So we'll get that. I can't quite get it to rest against his shoulder, because of the way that the elbow bends, or rather doesn't bend. So I'm going to have to go with something like that, which isn't too bad. His neck joint isn't as dynamic as I would like, so it's hard to get like neck cracking shape. So actually I just did it. No clue how I made the joint do that, but I'm not going to question it. No, that kind of looks a little bit more of a derp than a neck cracking, but there we go. So we'll go ahead and go with that. Very typical pose, but a good pose nonetheless. Plug the stand right in there. Level them with the ground, and there you go. So, not like the coolest thing in the world, but damn it, he looks badass as all hell. So, to wrap things up, easily my favorite Figma. Despite having the really awesome shoulders or armor design, none of it gets in the way of his arm articulation, which is a definite plus. Particularly compared to Torque didn't get in the way at all, which is kind of weird. The purple is absolutely brilliantly painted. It's consistent throughout, and it's got a nice glossy finish that looks really nice. Kind of like incisors, but purple. I don't see any flaws with the figure, to be honest. The head sculpt is great. Everything's really painted. The suit design is pretty much top-notch. The Venovisor is brilliantly painted. No detail left behind. And all in all, it's just an absolutely fantastic Figma. If you're still on the fence about Figmas, considering the Ryuki Figuarts, if you're a fan of Strike, I definitely recommend picking up Figma Strike. Who knows when and how they'll release Ouja. So it's really better to be safe than sorry, and this is an absolutely fantastic figure. So you have no reason to be disappointed. So you can check out a written review at ridersrangersandrambles.com, bringing you the latest token news in the craziest way possible. So take care and have a great one. Bye.